Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the sports segment here on the Joy News Pulse with me, Rick Wampofo. We'll be talking about the English Premier League, and that's because we're getting ready for what should be a dramatic closing of the title race, as Manchester City and Liverpool are still separated by 1 point, because when the two of them met each other this weekend, they couldn't be separated yet again. 2-2 it ended, but our focus is not on the game. We're doing a bit of foresight to look at the fixtures remaining for the two teams and who is most likely to be going on with the Premier League title this season. And joining me in studio is Joel Botte of the Joy Sports team. Joel, it's good to have you. Just let's start off with the match itself. 2-2, fair results for you?
Fair results because both managers have shown the level to which they play, and you can tell from this game that it was a very, very tactical game. Manchester City dominated most of it in terms of possession, and Liverpool struggled trying to get the attackers in place. But, I mean, with what they have in terms of the fullbacks and Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold, they definitely can create chances in there for them, and that's how they were able to get goals for Jota and Mane. So these are some of the things. I just believe that this game, it went beyond just the players. It went into what the coaches could lay out in terms of tactics and get that win for themselves. But good result, a draw.
Well, both coaches did say that the remaining 7 games have to be won if they had to stand a chance. Of course, as things do stand, Manchester City do have everything within their rights and it's in their hands. If they do win all their 7 games, they are Premier League champions. Let's take a look at the fixtures for the red and blue side as they compete for the title once again. And let's go through Liverpool's fixtures quickly. Man United, Everton, Newcastle, Tottenham, Aston Villa, Southampton, and then Wolves. Do you see them going 7 games with victories in all of them, as Jurgen Klopp is saying?
Liverpool, with how they play, I believe they have the team to take them through the 7 games. But I believe they are facing opposition that could definitely worry them. And if you look at, they have the likes of Tottenham coming in there, and they also have Aston Villa, who, though they've struggled a bit, they definitely do worry because they have this rivalry, not necessarily rivalry, but they have a coach who has played for them and would definitely want to prove a point to why he could definitely take up the mantle of one day coaching the Liverpool side. He could definitely cause trouble with the attackers that he has in Oli Watkins and Coutinho, who also played for Liverpool. Also, when we look in there, Newcastle have been on an incredible run. They've definitely played to the level that we expected them to play after making those signings during the transfer window in January. And so these are some of the games that I believe could cause a bit of trouble in there for them, but I see them going through getting the 7 wins.
You don't think Man United or Tottenham Hotspur would pose any threat?
Said earlier, Tottenham would pose a threat. It's Man United that I don't see them as a threat because they are really struggling right now. They do have an attacker in Cristiano Ronaldo, but I don't see how they'll be able to come up against a well-coached team such as Liverpool. They are playing at home. That's Anfield, and we know what Anfield means to Liverpool. So it'll be difficult for Man United to get a result, even though it's a big game.
And the Merseyside derby?
I said earlier, Everton too will be a problem because they are also trying to get out of the relegation zone. So these are just a few games that will cause a bit of trouble, but I still do see Liverpool getting the 7 wins, especially if they continue this run that they've been on, getting the early goals and trying to put pressure on their teams. They always do that, and whenever they take an early lead this season, they've not really lost a game. So hopefully they're able to keep that record.
And for Man City, they play Brighton, Watford, Leeds, Newcastle, Wolves, West Ham, Aston Villa. Not really any top side in sight. What do you make of that? So
in comparison to Liverpool, then I would say that Manchester City have the advantage because they play much easier fixtures. And though they are in other competitions, which could definitely change how the schedule would be, I still see them as the favourites for this title because you look at they play Brighton at home, they play Watford at home, they play Leeds. These are middle to bottom league table teams. And Manchester City have been top against such teams. They've not really dropped that many points against those teams. So I believe they could definitely get the trophy. Looking at where they stand at the moment, they lead by a point, and we know how the English Premier League is. even with 1 point, it still makes a difference. So if they're able to hold on to it with the fixtures that they have, the only top opposition I would also see is Aston Villa in there and possibly Wolves, because Wolves has worried Manchester City in the past. But then aside that, I think Manchester City can take the title.
Well, we did see these two sides in recent times go 98 points, 97 points, with Manchester City edging it out. It may not be that high in terms of the point tally. We may see a 95, 94 if both teams do go through and win all of their fixtures. But before we go, Joel, who is the favorite for you? Who is this in the end, looking at the fixtures that both of them do have?
I'm tipping Manchester City to win it. In terms of the form, how they've played, the opposition, the caliber of players. I mean, they have what it takes to definitely see out. They've done it before. We saw them even come from behind when Liverpool used to lead in that title race where it was 98, 97. And I do see that happening now, not with Liverpool overtaking, but with Manchester City holding on to the lead up top on the English Premier League table. They will definitely take the trophy home.
All right, thank you very much, Joel. That's how we wrap up the sports segment here. You can get some more sports stories on myjoyonline.com/sports, or follow us on social media at ChoiceSportsGH on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. My name is Oreku Wampofo, and that's how we wrap up the sport here. Remember, you can get more sports stories when we come your way with sports on to join News Prime at 8:15.